Welcome back to the Care Innovation Studio at the Care Innovation Summit. We are here with our next guest. Hello.
Hello.
Would you like to tell us who you are and what you do?
So I'm Ali Willoughby and I'm an agent within the valuation and advisory team of Colliers Healthcare.
Perfect. So what does that mean?
So
Secret agent.
A secret agent, yes. Generally, yes, because when I go into care homes, people don't normally know why I'm there.
Yeah.
I appraise care businesses and then market them on behalf of the vendor, or I acquire them on behalf of a purchaser.
Perfect. How's the market this year been for sort of care homes buying and selling? It's been a bit kind of mad over the last few years and up and down and left
It
and right.
has. There's been a lot going on. There always is, but there's been a lot going on in the last few years. Last year was quiet. This year is busier, definitely busier. Most of the activity that we're seeing is not in the very top end of the market. We're seeing a lot of activity in the small to medium market. Certainly, that's what I'm seeing.
And that's is that kind of groups of 10 acquiring 3 and things like that? Yeah, we're noticing a trend.
Lots
in
of
that,
consolidation.
Yeah.
Lots. People really trying to make a regional impact as well. Get a decent cluster within a set geographical area.
Yeah, I think that does make sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When I came across a group that had 4 homes. One was in Exeter, one was in Scotland, and then they had 2 in between. I was just thought, how do you manage that geographically? But I suppose ultimately you don't have to go to the home every day, do you? But
you don't.
No.
But I do think that healthcare isn't a business that is easily run at extreme arm's length. So I do wonder about the logic behind that kind of business plan. And you would hope they'd be looking at some kind of infill between those areas to create something that made a little bit more sense.
Go on a little road trip all the way there, up and down. So is obviously with the interest rates being higher, and I guess last year was quiet because of the political situation.
Yeah.
And now in theory that's resolved. Left, right, whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So is it still? Obviously with the interest being higher, it does, I guess, make it harder to finance potentially.
But potentially, there is still some quite serious geopolitical unrest going on in the world, and money flows internationally into healthcare. So we can't just look at it from the UK perspective. We have an awful lot of money coming in from the USA, for example, and we know at the minute things are quite unsettled over there.
Yeah. It's a gentle way of putting it. So I've also noticed there's sort of a bit more European money coming through as well. So for a few big European groups investing and buying up sort of like medium to high quality homes.
Well, healthcare historically was always deemed to be an alternative market. It's quite a sensitive market, and I think it's not one you can decide to move into on a whim, or indeed leave on a whim. So I think that it has been a market that people have deemed an alternative market for quite a long while, but that is changing. That is definitely changing, and people do see it as a relatively safe place to hold your money for a long while.
I guess it's the asset-backed nature of it, isn't it?
Absolutely.
That makes it work. But if I'm selling a home then, or a group of homes, what area should I be focusing on to maximise value?
Controlling your staffing costs, obviously. That's by far the biggest proportion of any expenditure. Homes that struggle with recruiting, retention, that are reliant upon agency, have higher staffing costs, but that also creates a climate of instability, and the business becomes more risky.
Customers don't like it either. High agency staff. I think it's a pretty key thing when people are looking around. They're looking to understand, has the staff been working here for 10 years?
Yeah. Will mum be with somebody who knows her, or will that be changing every 4 weeks? And she's going to have to get to know somebody new, and they're going to have to get to know her. So but from a valuation perspective, staffing costs are absolutely the biggest thing we look at. And then what we're trying to do is really avoid peaks and troughs. People like stability. Buyers and funders like stability. Room for growth, room for added value is always quite nice to see as well. But if you've got if you don't have a waiting list, if you've got 10 empty beds, and then you say, well, there's a great big garden there, you could build on it, it doesn't really have any value right now. You need to be filling those beds first. So it's how close to best trading can it be? Oddly enough, absolute best trading can create a problem for buyers, because where's the uplift for them? They have to pedal really hard to stay still.
Yeah.
So staffing, evening out your peaks and troughs, and a good compliance record. And if you've got those three, you've got a business that you can sell and that will attract interest from buyers and also from their funders.
How, with sort of CQC's inability to kind of quickly assess homes, and then the sort of finance system relying on the CQC rating as an indicator of that overall sort of business model to say, right, okay, all the 23 boxes we're ticking, the big cross in the requires improvement means we're not going to give you the money. And I've seen some quite interesting innovations with faux inspections, or looking at different ways of rating that. Is there any innovations in that area that people should be looking at if you can't get the CQC to come out?
We do see that. We do see those faux inspections, those mock inspections, and a really good mock inspection can go a long way with a funder. So a reputable assessor can help you enormously. And also, having a funder that understands what requires improvement is, it's rather a blunt rating. Does it mean nearly inadequate, or does it mean nearly good?
It could mean both, can't it?
It could mean both. So having a look at what it means, looking at the narrative behind it, and looking at previous inspections. Is this an unlucky inspection? Is it a problem that has been there for the last 2, 3, 4 reports? That's obviously a bigger problem that needs addressing. So understanding the context of the rating rather than just looking at the rating itself, I think, is important.
Did the car fail its MOT on a light bulb, or a
the brakes
fault?
gone.
Yeah, the brakes gone.
Yeah,
it's
indeed.
a very, very different answer to the
Indeed.
question, isn't it? So you mentioned that you were having a conversation with a group of people about innovation. What were you talking about? What's
So one of the things that we were looking at was we were chatting about was the notion that somebody's condition, i.e. dementia, dictates their entire environment, and it really doesn't. So, for example, I'm a lover of neutrals. So I wouldn't want to be in a setting that had really bright, bold, dramatic colours. It wouldn't fit me. And also kitchens. So we were chatting about care homes that have working kitchens, and people go in there at tea time, which was historically quite a busy time in a house. You've got the kids coming home from school. If you've been a housewife, you've got your husband coming home from work. There's a lot going on in those couple of hours. Getting people into a kitchen, because that's what they would have been doing. Having laundrettes that service users can actually go to and perhaps use. And it gives their life purpose, it gives it meaning, and it taps into the life they had before this part of their life, which I think is amazing.
I guess the chore of doing the washing, although we might not love it, it's part of the daily routine, isn't it?
It really is. And then you've got care homes that have gardens that people work in, and those gardens cultivate their own fruit and veg. And we know that getting out there, kind of green therapy, getting your fingers into the soil, is actually really therapeutic. So not having people sitting in chairs, perhaps there's nothing wrong if you want to sit in a chair and read or do bingo, but if you've been an active person, how marvellous to tap into that part of your life and continue it during your life in a care home.
And then in terms of like technology, then when on your side of things, when you're looking at sort of preparing a home for sale or a buy, and you mentioned staffing costs, so I guess a digital rating system's super important.
Yep. Good care plan system.
Good care plan system. So is there any other technology that you would really be sort of saying, this is something that we would think that really sort of adds value?
We see the interactive tables an awful lot. Love those. Again, it's an engagement tool for people. I've seen care homes that have a Silver Surfers Lounge, where people are regularly online. They're chatting to their relatives all over the world, where people have got married and residents have been able to watch the wedding remotely, actually be a part of it in real time. and it's all of those connections with the outside world. Wonderful story about a chap who got online and was very successful, as evidenced by the crates of wine that ended up being delivered to the care home, because he'd set up an account and was busy ordering wine by the crateful. And it was great, but there's no way he could have drunk that and stayed alive. So they had to have a word with his family about potentially how do we manage his access to the internet? He won't stop spending, and it's all in a wine shop.
Lovely. Well, I've got a final question for you. Scones. Jam then cream, or cream then jam?
Jam then cream.
Okay, interesting. You were straight in there. You were confident with your answer.
Straight in.
I disagree, but I think cream
you're
then
wrong,
jam.
but
Well, it's been brilliant to meet you and speak to you about
too.
it. It's a very interesting conversation about. I think it's a part of the care home sector. I think often can get forgotten about. Lots of homes are bought and sold all the time, and
they are.
And there's a whole big bit around that. So lots of activity going on, and lots of innovation. So
Yep.
it's been nice to talk to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be back shortly.